(6:15). This is a Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Lavani Vijayatunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. A special program to be formulated for differently abled persons. The import of medical items needed for the country has not been limited. New employment ventures that will bring foreign exchange to the country to be identified. The railway's timetable will be revised from Monday. In news overseas, the US says the price cap on Russian oil will hit Putin immediately. Those are the headlines, and now more to the details of the local news. In view of the International Day of Disabled Persons, which falls today, President Ranil Wickremesinghe has assured that a special program will be formulated for the benefit of the differently abled persons. Speaking at a ceremony themed Transformative Solutions for Inclusive Development, the Role of Innovation in Fueling an Accessible and Equitable World, held at Temple Trees this morning. To commemorate the event, the President noted that Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena has already been given instructions to formulate a report in this regard, together with the State Minister of Women, Child Affairs and Social Empowerment, Ministers of Education, Health, Youth Affairs and Sports. Proposals based on the report will be included in the next budget proposal once it has been submitted to the Cabinet, he stated. President Wickremesinghe attributed the neglect towards the needs of the differently abled persons, child protection and other related matters to both the country's lack of attention and funds. Director of Medical Supplies Unit, Dr. Tusita Sudarshana says that the import of medicinal items needed for the country has not been limited. There is some medicines shortage in the country due to suppliers not coming forward to import some medical drugs due to the lack of foreign exchange. But the government has paid attention to implement the free health services in the country. The vote on the account of the Ministries of Urban Development, Housing, Labour and Foreign Employments were taken up for debate today. State Minister Anuradha Jayaratne said that new employment ventures that bring foreign exchange to the country should be identified. Parliamentarian Harry Amarasuriya said in Parliament that special attention should be focused on migrant workers who have little education. She also pointed out that the government should mediate to solve many problems existing in the construction field. Parliamentarian S.M. Marikar said that people are facing many hardships due to the price increase in cement and iron. He also stated that the support of the foreign investors should be sought to solve the housing problems in the cities. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And we continue with more local news. Deputy General Manager of Railways Gamini Seniviratne says that the railway's timetable will be revised from Monday. Accordingly, the timetable of the Kalani Valley railway line will be amended. Special attention will be focused on office passenger trains. Minister Harin Fernando says that the new mobile app will be introduced for the security of the tourists who arrive in the country. The aim of this move is to promote the tourism industry. Minister Mahinda Amaravira says that the companies which supply organic fertilizer that are not up to the standard will be blacklisted. He has emphasized that no room will be allowed for such companies to engage in their industry again. He has already advised the National Fertilizer Secretariat to blacklist the company that has supplied low-quality fertilizer to the farmers in the Gaul district. Stern legal action will be taken against the company. And to conclude the local news, the headlines once again. A special program to be formulated for the differently abled persons. The import of medicinal items needed for the country has not been limited. New employment ventures that will bring foreign exchange to the country to be identified. The railway's timetable will be revised from Monday. And that was the local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddha Lepa Veda Mahatmya.
main news story for this evening, a special program will be conducted to develop the tourism industry. The aim of this move is to bring 1.5 million tourists to the island. Minister Harin Fernando stated that it is hoped to earn 15 billion rupees income under this program. More tourists have arrived in the island from India and the European countries. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
Celebrate Christmas and New Year with lots of CIB discounts. Valuable gifts with bank discounts till 31st of December. Come to CIB today.
And in Watch Live this evening, the passengers complain that some bus drivers are operating the buses after consumption of alcohol. This has led to the increase of road accidents. It has also been reported that some conductors are engaged in their duties after consuming iced drugs. They also pointed out that they face many difficulties due to this reason. This is for the attention of the Minister of Transportation and the IGP. And that came to you in Watch Light.
Celebrate Christmas and New Year with lots of CIB discounts. Valuable gifts with bank discounts till 31st of December. Come to CIB today.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
We give you the strength to rise higher and higher.
Never step back, but always march forward.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Headlines of the world news. The US says that the price cap on Russian oil will hit Putin immediately. Transfer of 1,000 Indian crocodiles raises thorny questions. US Air Force unveils new B-21 Raider nuclear stealth bomber. Those are the headlines, and now we move on to the details of the world news. The US says that a cap on the price of Russian oil will restrict Russia's revenues for the illegal war in Ukraine. The cap, approved by the Western Allies on Friday, is aimed at stopping countries paying more than $60 for a barrel of seaborne Russian crude oil. The measure, due to come into force on Monday, intensifies Western pressures on Russia over the invasion. Ukraine said the Western proposed cap should be halved. Russia said it would not supply to the countries enforcing it. A crocodile breeding center in India is in the process of shifting 1,000 crocodiles to a zoo located some 1,931 kilometers away and owned by billionaire Mukesh Ambani. Last year, India's zoo regulator approved the transfer of mugger crocodiles from Madras Crocodile Bank Trust in the southern state of Tamil Nadu to Green's Zoological Rescue and Rehabilitation Center in the western state of Gujarat. About 300 crocodiles have been relocated to Gujarat so far. Officials of the 8.5-acre breeding center said the crocodiles are being relocated as overcrowding in their original home was leading to fights. The US Air Force has unveiled its newest nuclear stealth bomber, the B-21, which will gradually replace aircraft first flown in the Cold War. The new first bomber in 30 years could cost nearly $700 million each and can carry nuclear and conventional weapons. As expected, specific details of the aircraft remains shrouded in secrecy, but the U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said it was a testament to America's enduring advantage in ingenuity and innovation. The B-21 Raider was unveiled during a ceremony on Friday at the manufacturer Northrop Grumman's facility in California. And to conclude the world news, the headlines once again. The U.S. says the price cap on Russian oil will hit Putin immediately. Transfer of 1,000 Indian crocodiles raises thorny questions. U.S. Air Force unveils new B-21 Raider nuclear stealth bomber. And that was the world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
Amidst all challenges, we will rally around you and advance.
In the face of hardships, let's stand strong together.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In development news, the Ministry of Industry has planned to establish 10 new industrial zones. Additional Secretary to the Ministry, Ranjit Vimalasuriya, said that 1 billion rupees has been allocated from the budget in this regard. With that, we move on to sports news. The first round of the Super 16 of FIFA World Championship Tournament begins today. The first match of the tournament is being played between the Netherlands and the US. That was the sports news. Business news coming up.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest, an interest rate of 22% in 4 months. NSB, the safest place for your money.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The government hopes to introduce electric motorboats for fishermen. This program will be implemented from next year. The objective of this move is to solve the fuel problems of the fishermen. That was the business news. Economic news coming up.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest, an interest rate of 22% in 4 months. NSB, the safest place for your money.
In economic news, Kurakan has been cultivated in large scale of lands in the Valava bank of the Hambantota district for the Maha season. This program is being initiated by the Department of Agriculture. The livelihood of the people in the area will be improved. From that, we move on to the weather report. The Met Department says that showers or thunder showers will occur in the northern, eastern and north central provinces. Showers or thunder showers will occur elsewhere during the afternoon or night. Heavy showers above 100 millimeters is likely at some places in the western, northwestern, Sabaragamuwa and central provinces and in the Galle and Mathara districts. And before we conclude this bulletin of news, let's get back to the headlines once again. A special program to be formulated for the differently abled persons. The import of medical items needed for the country has not been limited. New employment ventures that will bring in foreign exchange to the country to be identified. The railway's timetable will be revised from Monday. And in news overseas, the US says the cap on Russian oil will hit Putin immediately. And with that, we conclude this bulletin of news.